Hey there, folks. Welcome to day 62 of my year of solo board gaming. You are catching me in the middle of setting up for Terror Below. This is the second day in a row we're doing this. We're doing the harder scenario that they give for the solo scenario. This is basically, yesterday was you had to deliver to each of the four locations, four of the five locations. This is you have to hunt three of the four types of worms. And you specifically have to collect a hunt bounty. You can't just kill the four different types of worms. You have to get one of these little hunt bounties up here. And the difficulty of that is going to be making sure that the hunts come out. I tried doing this a few moments ago. I'd messed up one of the steps, so I decided to reset everything, but I was dealing with a lot of delivery bounties, which is not what was going to be helpful. I did decide to scramble the locations this time around, and what I did is I lined them up, rolled the dice, and if I got 1 through 5, I selected one of the locations, put that up here, and then did the same for like 1 through 4, 1 through 3, 1 through 2, and that one was left over. So we have a slightly different arrangement with how the locations are set up. We have already set up our base monster setup. Each egg represents one of the black monsters that are given in the game that you're meant to start with, and then these are our 3 target monsters. Fortunately, we have a Screamer bounty and a Screamer on the board. So with any luck, we'll be able to hunt that Screamer, but we have to be in the right place to do that. I also have not drawn my characters yet, or items, or vehicles, so you'll go through that process with me. So first thing that we're going to do is we're going to draw 3 characters, and this is a tough deck to shuffle because there's only 15, I think 16 cards in it. And in the solo version, you don't use Rebecca the Homemaker or Shepherd Old George. Rebecca because her power depends on other players, and George because it's way too powerful in solo play. Basically, you sacrifice him to get a worm. And in the solo scenarios, that would be make this a little bit easier, quite a bit easier. So we're going to select 3 characters. We got Truck Driver Pam, Handyman Merle, and Life Coach Sebastian. Now, Life Coach Sebastian we had last time as one of the possibilities. Their ability is to have 4 cards, and I think will probably not be the leader of this group. So Truck Driver Pam is interesting. Basically would allow you to move around much more easily, but you wouldn't collect rubble as a result. And I'm not sure how much I really like that. And that's only if you play a 7 card. So I'm going to hold on to that as my second. I'm going to go with Handyman Earl. Now, Handyman Earl's main ability is that you have better selection of items. But in this particular scenario, I think we're probably going to need weapons more than items. But that's what I'm going to go with. We're going to get 1 item to start. And in this case, I'm going to make sure that it is all shuffled because that was the same item that I started with last time in the previous playthrough. Do a quick shuffle here, try to get this all mixed up. And let's cut the deck here. And we got a worm trap, so that'll keep a worm in place, which is a plus because if you're trying to hunt a worm, you want a way to stop the worm. And we're going to do the same thing with the weapons here, if I can pick up this last card. I'm doing this via OBS. I'm just using the record function on it, so hopefully these videos are fine. Over the last week, I've just been putting up the videos as is. The editing was taking too long. It wasn't so much the editing even, it was the export process, which in some cases was, for a 30-minute video might take 3 hours, which was it was too slow. So I decided to make the executive decision just to put the videos up as is for now, because the idea is that I'm trying to get used to producing the content, not so much make sure that the content is watchable, because we know it's not. Pistol just does a straight 2 damage, which is a plus. That's not great. I mean, it's not going to defeat any of the monsters. It will come close to the tentacles, and because those are the weakest of the worms. But 2 is not enough, so we'll need at least 1 more weapon to do some damage. Finally, we're going to get some vehicles to work with. 1 more shuffle here. Make sure this is all randomized. And basically the vehicles allow you to determine how much action you can take. The more action you can take, the more disadvantageous the vehicle is in terms of whether or not it attracts other things to you, and so on. So what we're going to get to start off with is the pickup truck, the 18-wheeler, the 18-wheeler. So we get a lot of actions to start off with, not a whole lot of stuff that we can do things with. So I think what we want to do is we want to start relatively close to Mrs. Tentacles here, or Mrs. Tentacles here, and I think this one Um, their attack pattern is a little awkward. How do I want to do this? I want to end with getting that egg. Because I can deliver that egg to the hospital or the motel to clear out one of those bounties, and I think that'll be helpful. So I think if I start here and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that'll be it. So, and we're going to play this on here because I think that will just simply activate, come close to activating her. We're going to start with our vehicle here, and so we're going to pick up all 3 rubble around it. We're going to trade that rubble in for a weapon because we'll need that weapon. All right, we'll need that weapon to do some damage. But now for our 4th move here, 5th move is to pick up this other rubble, 6th move here, 7th is to pick up the egg, and now we have finished that. We could use the worm trap to trap the Miss Tentacle here, because I kind of want to make sure she stays here. But for now, we're just going to keep it as is. Now, obviously, because the 3 is already here, we don't have to worry about the 18-wheelers move the nearest target to your space. It's already on my space. So that is not going to affect it at all. Now, we could have stopped here. My concern is that we are going to get a rubble on the general store, but I think we're going to keep it as is. So the first thing that's going to happen is that we're going to add a vehicle card here to the 2, which is going to cause it to move up 1. Then we're going to see an attack. And that's actually a plus because now the Screamer will not attack the hospital over here. 3, which is the one that attacks. All right. So the Screamer says, screw you guys, and brings up an egg here, and we're going to get 2 rubble. We're going to discard the vehicle that was on it, and we're going to discard the monster. We have to make sure that we don't go over 15. Once we have 15, the game's over. We're going to replace the Screamer with another Screamer, and it's going to go in 3, 4. 3, 4 is here. No, 3, 4 is here. I'm sorry. All right, and we should have really replaced that, and we've got another 18-wheeler. I really did shuffle these. I really did. So what we can do, trying to think of the best way to do this. We can bring this egg to the motel. And bring it to the hospital. What I don't want to do is if I use the 18-wheeler, I want the 3 to attack us. So I think what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and use this as is. And then do, because that will cause an attack on this round. Actually, let's go ahead and play it on this one. They're all going to activate on 2, so we're going to run the risk of all of these attacking. The 8's the one that I'm worried about. I don't want to be closest to the 2, so I do need to be careful about how I do this. If I how am I doing this? How am I doing this? I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That'll put the 1 closest to us and put us in line for an attack. So that's the disadvantage, is that I'll get the bounty, but there's no benefit to it. There's no real benefit to doing it up there either. So that's what we'll do. We'll do it like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll drop the egg off, which means we'll collect the bounty at the hospital. And we'll replace the bounty with another delivery. Yay! So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll go ahead and draw 1. We'll go ahead and go down 1 and draw 1 from here. 7. So that'll give us that, and we'll go ahead and draw. Take a look at the items that we get that are possible. We got nitrous, which will give us 3 extra oh, the suspicious briefcase. That's an easy one. The suspicious briefcase will allow us to reset some of those up there. But now we're going to move this over to here. And now there's a possibility it will attack. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to roll this dice. Really want that 1 to come up. 2, it attacks. Actually, specifically, it gets this. It's not going to move because there's no distraction on it. But it does attack. So we'll move this. We're going to bring up a light blue egg. We're going to spread some rubble around. Fortunately, it doesn't affect any of the locations. It attacks. We need 4. So we're going to use our hunting rifle. We're going to roll both dice. And it does 6 damage. So that is enough. We don't need to worry about the pistol. So we discard that. We're going to get the Mrs. Tentacles out. And we'll use the Any Worm bonus for that bounty. And we'll go ahead and claim the... We'll claim the standee as part of our bounty. Just line them up all over here. I'm not sure how much of that you can see. It's a little bit off screen. For that, I apologize. But that is the monster dead. These get discarded. We really should have had one more there. And then we're going to go ahead and replace the monster. So blaster at 4/3. So that'll be up here. All right. And now we still have to roll for an attack. So which monster is going to attack? It's going to be the blaster will attack. It doesn't even sit there for a moment. Just pops right up and says, hello. And we get that. Move down here. And we're going to add 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's correct. So we'll go ahead and get rid of that. We've now got 3 worms that have popped up. We get another blaster, this time at 3/4. That is right here. That's the same location as another one. And now it's our turn again. Now, if we pick up the egg, that's the last thing that we can do. We don't want to start off our move like that. So we do need to replace the bounty, which is going to put a blaster there, which is a plus. We're going to go ahead and use the suspicious briefcase. That's the first thing they're doing. We're discarding all of the delivery bounties. Replace them, hopefully, with more delivery bounties. Awesome. All right, so we need weapons. We need to get to the state police. So I think what we want to do is we want to play the 7. We're going to play it on the 1 here. All of these are bad. All of these just will generate a lot of damage, but we need to get some weapons first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we are not in the range of attack of anybody, but that's a plus. But we are going to have to deal with one of them getting onto our spot. We can pick the 1 or the 2, and we're going to pick the 1, I think, to move on to the spot with us. We are going to get a weapon out of this. We've got a pointy stick. Awesome. That's great. Plus 1 rubble. Yay. This is not going to go well. This is not going to go well at all. I think we're going to die. 3 gets the vehicle. 18-wheeler. There's no additional... Keep forgetting to draw the extra card. Pickup truck. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and roll to see which one attacks. Hopefully 3, 4, 5, or 6. Not the 1. And it's the 1. We're going to die. So purple comes up. Pops up right where we are. We're going to get some rubble around us. 1, 2, 3. And unfortunately, he can try with the pistol, but it's not going to be enough. The only thing he can really do is hope for the pointy stick. So if we roll 6, we've managed to defeat the blaster, and we can claim another bounty, and we're that much closer to winning. But most likely, we're going to not roll that. 1. Okay, yeah. So unfortunately, that kills Handyman Earl. He's dead. He drops the rubble. We move off the board. Truck driver Pam is now in charge. The blaster and the 18-wheeler, these all go away. We get a new monster. Another blaster, this time at 4/1. Should be over here. Oh, not the egg. Not the egg. That moves over here. Well, that was a good... that was good. Awesome. Pointy stick gets discarded. And now when I play a 7 card, I can move through rubble and then discard any rubble I pass through, which is not really what I want to do. So I'm going to come back into play, and I can put myself anywhere. I think what I want to do... I think what I want to do is I want to start closer to the state police and just get some eggs in. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to start... I'm going to do the pickup truck. I'm going to play that on 1. That's going to cause 1 to move down and then to the left, but it can't move any more to the left. I'm going to bring myself in here. I get 5 moves, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That means that I collect 4 rubble, 3 of them, and I'll get a weapon out of this. Semi-automatic rifle. I hate that one. Draw back up for the vehicles. We've got an 18-wheeler now. We're now going to see what monsters get activated here. We roll 5. That's going to activate Mrs. Tentacles. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to draw the vehicle card. It's going to move this down and to the left. I think the government facility might be in some trouble there. And then Mrs. Tentacle is going to come out of the ground. She's going to lay her big light blue egg here. Spread some rubble around here and here. The government facility is fine, actually. These go away. So does the monster. A new monster comes out. It's a screamer, and it's going to be at 5-3. So 5-3, right where we are. We could be seriously doomed here. Oh my lord! If we roll a 5 or a 6, we're going to have to really hope that the semi-automatic rifle comes into play. Is helpful. 1, it's the blaster that attacks. So the blaster is going to come up. It's going to bring out a dark purple. And it's going to spread some rubble in those directions. We're going to bring this back down here. We discard the vehicle. Discard the monster. Bring up another monster. It's a screamer at 3-5. So 3-5 right here. We're currently up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 monsters out of a possible 15. So we got to be a little careful here. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to play... I think we're going to play the 18-wheeler. We're going to put it under the screamer. Come on in. Hey there, folks. Sorry about that. All right, so what are we doing? We need to... I just played a 7, I think. Played it under there. So I have 7 moves. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll be that, and we'll draw a weapon. Grenade. Can deal 7 damage half the time. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. These are all bad. I guess take this as our last move. Alright, so we're going to move the closest thing to us. We're also going to draw another vehicle card. We get a pickup truck this time. We're going to go ahead and roll to see who gets the additional vehicle added to it. The Screamer is the only one I'm worried about. The Screamer might actually end up with... Nope, not in this case. So it's going to be number 1, which is going to have to move down and to the right, which I think puts it in line with the hospital, so that could be a problem. Now we're going to see which one attacks, and it's going to be that one. So it's going to bring up a light purple here, and it's going to rain down some rubble on the hospital and here. So that is a concern. because that could potentially destroy the hospital soon. But for now, these are going to go away, and we're going to bring up a blaster. The blaster is going to be at 4-4, which is a plus. I think we actually kind of want that. All right. We're going to play Sedan, I think. We now have a purple to get us back, to get us another weapon from the state police. Where do I want to go? I think I want to play this under the blaster. Whatever I play, I'm going to play under the blaster. I'm going to go ahead and play... Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to play this for the blaster, which is going to cause this to go up and to the left. We're then going to go 1, 2, 3. We're going to trade this into the state police for a bounty. Because we traded it into the state police, we're going to get a weapon. We have the potato gun, which will allow us to attack with a thingy. That's hilarious. And then we can either pick up a rock, which would allow us one more weapon, or we can move into place. And if we move here, if either 1 or 2 attacks, we'll be able to respond. And we'll actually be able to claim another trophy, I think. I forgot to replace that. Hunt. Boomer. All right, we have all 3 that we need. All right, we're doing that. We're going down 1. And we're going to... Do we want to use our worm trap? No, we don't. Because we might need that for the potato gun. All right, we're good. We're good. We're going to go ahead and, first of all, restock our vehicles. We get boots, which is good because I like the boots. And then we're going to... Who gets the extra vehicle? It's going to be the Screamer, which means the Screamer will attack. So the Screamer attacks, brings up a light purple here. However, because there's already an egg here, it's going to make that egg go away. And it's going to cause rubble to appear here, here, and here. And it puts us in the line of fire, so we have to attack back. So it's got 8. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to first of all try to use the grenade. This could potentially do 7 damage, at which point I think we can just use the pistol to finish it off. 5. On a roll of 4 to 6, deal 7 damage. We use the pistol, we discard both of those, and we have defeated the Screamer. Our 2 here. So we're going to be able to collect the Screamer bounty, which also means that we get to take the Screamer thingy. So we've got 2 of them now. This gets discarded. These get discarded as well. We still have a couple weapons, which is good because if 1 attacks, we're in really good shape. But we're going to draw another one of these. It's going to be a Mrs. Tentacles. It's going to be at 4-2. So that will be right here. And now what we really want is for the 1 to attack. If the 1 attacks, I think we've just won the game. We'll go ahead and draw another one of these. It's delivery. We need the blaster and the boomer. The blaster, if we get the blaster, we're done. 5. It's the Screamer, unfortunately. So the Screamer attacks. The Screamer brings up a light purple where it stands, and then we're going to get a whole bunch of these. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This gets discarded, this gets discarded, and we draw out a new monster. It's a Mrs. Tentacle. She's going to be at 5-4, which is right where we are. It's got a diagonal attack, so as does 2. So we kind of want to avoid... Alright, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to play the 2 on Mrs. Tentacle. And, sorry, the phone's ringing. That's going to allow us to move this down to here, which means that we don't have to worry about it if it attacks. We're then going to discard our pickup truck for another 5. So we're going to get 7 moves total. We're going to pick up the rock that's not where we are. that rubble gets discarded, and we get to grab another weapon. This time it's the pistol. We're gonna, that was one move. We're gonna get 2, 3, 4. And then that will allow us to get an item. Seismograph allows you to play a vehicle under to create a distraction. I'm not going to be able to get another weapon out, but I kind of want to get that Mrs. Tentacle away from me. What I can do is I can go ahead and do, there was 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll pick up one more from here, and then I'll pick this up as well. That ends my turn. If Mrs. Tentacle attacks, we're good because it'll be a diagonal attack. If Mrs. Tentacle down here attacks, we'll be good. It's a diagonal attack. If the blaster attacks, that's what we want. We want this to form an attack along here. Unfortunately, we don't have a vehicle under here, so that's not going to matter. If they get a vehicle, we need it to attack essentially. So the first thing we're doing is who gets the additional card. It's going to be Mrs. Tentacle. It's going to be number 2. They're going to get an additional vehicle. The first thing that they do is they move back into position with the distraction, and then they attack. So they're going to bring forth a light blue egg. There's one there, so that gets discarded, and then we generate rubble in a diagonal pattern. So 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and then we discard these. We lose another monster. We're going to generate another one. It's a screamer, and it's going to be at 2/2. So we're going to move this here. We then roll this to see who attacks. Now, what we really want is a 1 or a 2. We want a 1 or a 2, please. 2, excellent. All right, so the blaster attacks. It's going to bring up... the blaster isn't in place. Oh, my freaking lord. Ah! Oh, I think I just blew this game. I think I just blew it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10 monsters. I really needed the blaster. That's a bummer. That is a bummer. I got too far away. I didn't take time to look at where the blast pattern was going to be. No sense dwelling on it. It's going to generate an egg here. We're going to get some rubble all around it. Blaster goes away. That's 11. And we're going to replace the monster. We get a boomer. Kind of like that boomer. It's going to be at 1-5, which is an odd location. It's going to be all the way down here. And it's got a sort of radius like that. It only needs 2 cards. So, I think what we're going to do is we're going to play this motorcycle below it. We're going to get 1, 2. We have our boulder already, so we're going to get another item or weapon. I think we're going to go item this time. Lucky hat, which we can wear. 3, 4, 5, 6. Put that there. And now the whole hope of this is that basically by doing this, we've made this a lot more likely that this will attack us because we have the weapons that will deal with damage to it. But first it's going to move 1 closer. This is going to move 1 closer. The 3 has a diagonal attack, so we'll move it this way. The 2 is going to move 1 closer. It's just simply going to go this way. We have no control over that. The 2 could attack us. It just won't make a difference. We don't need the 2 to attack us. First of all, we're going to see who gets the additional vehicle. First, we're going to make sure that we're filled up on our own. The additional vehicle is going to be on here. And it's going to go back this way, or up 1 and this way. And then we're going to roll to see who attacks. Now, we really do want an attack on us. It will destroy the hospital. It'll destroy the general store, but we will defeat this monster. 5 Mrs. Tentacle attacks. Stupid Mrs. Tentacle. So she brings up a light blue. Generates some rubble all around. I will say it can be a little awkward with, I don't think that was the right placement of any of that. I think that was there. That goes there. I think I may have just mucked that up. So that's 12. Boomer at 4/4. We really want this thing to attack us. So I think what we want to do is we just want to play this. We're going to use Worm Trap first to trap the worm where it is. That means that if we play a distraction card, it will not matter. We're just simply going to use a Sedan. So we can move a target token 2 spaces. We can get that further out of our way. And we're just going to go ahead and pick this stuff up all around us. We're going to trade 3 of these in for another. Do we want to do an item? Let's do an item. Black Hat. Doesn't really matter to us. And now this attacks. And I think this will help us with the game. Now we could have done something to help save these 2 items here. They're doomed. The orange comes up. It's going to spread its rain of destruction all around. Normally in the multiplayer game you don't lose locations. That is not true in the solo. You can easily lose locations. There's actually in the simplest scenario you can lose the game if you lose 3 locations in the game. So those are all dead. But in the destruction of the hospital and the general store, we are going to be successful. Did I play all? No, because I have an item. I have this I can play. And I can play this. I can honestly play. I can play this. So we're going to use the potato gun to use an item. We're going to stick our seismograph in the potato gun, apparently. And we're going to roll a dice, and that will just do damage equal to it. Now, we need 9 damage total. No, I'm sorry. We're on this one. We need 6 damage total to take out the boomer. 2. We got 2 damage. Okay, so we're on our way. We're going to use the pistol for another 2 damage. Now we need this semi-automatic rifle. Now, I will point out that we have to roll a 5 or 6 once in 6 dice rolls. So the odds of us not getting this are 2 to the 6th over 3 to the 6th. It's our chances of succeeding are 1 minus 2 to the 6th over 3 to the 6th. Or something like that. So let's go ahead. We're going to roll both dice at the same time. So let's just roll the blue dice. I feel like the blue dice is better. So that would have worked. Okay, so 1 failed. 2 failed. 3. There we go. We got it. Our worm trap worked. We trapped the boomer. We get the boomer bounty. And that was this one, I think. No, the boomer is this one that's partially coming out. There we go. We've collected 3 of them. It's done the job. We've successfully saved the town from worms. We lost the hospital. We lost the general store. That's okay. I think we had 13 of these things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13. So we came pretty close to losing the game. We would not have lasted too many more turns, but we did it. We succeeded in our mission. This has been Terror Below, and thank you so much. We'll be back with a new game tomorrow, I promise. And ciao.